Hi everyone, welcome to the first video of this year's Who Group Camp that I'm doing. Just a brief introduction for anybody that sort of hasn't seen what we do and what's going on here. This is Who Group Elite. This is the largest sort of recruitment camp in the USA for college recruitment. Normally has between sort of maybe 500, 700 players turn up from different high schools across the US and overseas, come along, perform in front of coaches, and coaches pick up kids for colleges, some in scholarships, some part scholarships. This is now my 4th year coaching, and we are in East Stroudsburg University this year for the first time. And so far so good. It's, the accommodation is great, everything about here is brilliant, facilities are fantastic. And previous years we've brought kids over from England to sort of take part in the camp and get a feel for things in the US, and we've had some guys who've actually managed to create opportunities for themselves because of this and go off to colleges in the States. This year is a little bit different, so I've brought with me Ben Fox, who is one of the coaches for Plymouth Raiders. He does a lot of the schools work, he coaches the ladies team. The official title, I guess, is he's an apprentice coach, but it's a bit of he's a coach, so he's here and he's trying to learn and he's trying to do his thing and get a feel for it as well. Apprentice coach is kind of, well, that's just every coach is an apprentice coach at the beginning. He's a coach. He's a basketball coach. He has a team and he works with the school. So he's here. He's ran away from the camera, so I cannot introduce you to him just yet. But the idea will be I'm going to have a chat with him and get a feel for what he thinks of the first couple of days here at camp. We're yet to get started. We've had a couple of days. We've got a Bristol Flyers player, Louis Weaver, with us. Done a couple of workouts with him. Met some of the camp staff. And we've also got 3 players from the Haringey Hawks. They should arrive in the next hour. They've just been picked up from the airport. So it's great to actually get guys from different clubs in the UK to come across with me and not just guys from my own club. Yeah, I think it's important to kind of get the message of what happens here out there to people. So normally I do a bit of a video diary of the way camp works and what we've been up to. I speak to a couple of coaches and what they think of it and all this sort of stuff, which is great. I've done that, so feel free to watch them if you haven't. But this time we want to do it a bit differently. I want to be a bit selfish and start benefiting myself and start benefiting coaches. So the plan is to interview several coaches across the camp and talk coaching, talk problems, talk solutions, talk systems, talk tactics, talk anything to do with coaching, managing other coaches, managing players, managing parents, and just have a full-blown, not planned, not scripted, just conversation on coaching. And that is going to be how we're going to go for the rest of the camp. So I'll try and get a few clips of other stuff along the way. I may have a brief chat down about the day and everything else. But the main idea of this is to talk coaching. So hopefully that'll be helpful for anyone out there. If it's not, you don't need to press play, it's fine. But for a lot of people that I've spoken to, we've got several questions that have been thrown our way, and we're just going to ask them and we're going to see where it leads. So really looking forward to that. Camp gets going tomorrow morning, so really excited to get started. I know Ben is excited. He's planning what he wants to do with his team and how he wants to run his systems, the way he plays, which is really, really good. So I'm going to try and get a chat with him later on and see how he feels. Other than that, look forward for tomorrow. Speak to you soon. Right, I'm here with Ben Fox. We finally got him to get in front of the camera. Any of you guys back home, obviously you know who Ben is. For anyone who's watching this from anywhere else, as I said before, Ben is one of the young coaches coming through the system in Plymouth. Works with the ladies team, works a little bit with the pro team, does a lot of schools work, and so I decided to bring Ben along to Hoot Group for his first experience over here. And the plan is basically I want to get a bit of an understanding before we start camp tomorrow of how you're feeling about it all, what your expectations are, what you're trying to, as a new young coach, what you're trying to get out of it, and just see where we go from there. So first of all, we'll go with, why did you decide to come?
I just think it's very different to anything back home. Having conversations with you about it, it just sounds very, very good.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to come over. I've always wanted to come to the States and sort of coach and see what goes on, how they run things. So I thought it was a really good opportunity to come over.
Yeah, to be fair, it sounds pretty similar to what my ideas were. Was I like basketball. America's about basketball.
Yeah.
Come coach in America, figure it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
And that was literally what happened to me. You've got your Magic Black Book, which I've seen. Credit to Danny McGee at Plymouth. Apparently this has something to do with you. Your Magic Black Book. So you've written a load of notes in there.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What's your plan? What's your notes?
Just to network with people, really. I think if I've come all this way to not network with people and just gain knowledge from them, I think it'd be a bit pointless. So just to talk to people, see what they think about certain things, jot a few things down, and then just see where that takes me, really.
So tomorrow you're going to get your own team. You're going to be able to assist in stations with mixtures of players from 15 years old up to 18, 19-year-old top high school players. You're going to get your own team of guys. Kind of what do you want to learn from the players, sort of thing, and what do you want to implement to them as well?
From them, I think it's just how they've been coached, sort of their experiences. Obviously, having played before as well, I think hearing their experiences compared to what I've had back home, I think interests me quite a bit. And just teaching them, I just want them to enjoy it, really, and just have an experience of having someone from a different country, their perspective. Obviously my ideas of how things should be done and theirs could be quite different, so I think just giving them a chance to learn, maybe there's more to basketball than just the States. Obviously we've had chats about your experiences and how they, they're not obviously aware of there's a whole basketball world out there, so I think just try and educate them a bit on what we do, and just hope that maybe they can one day come over. So
and obviously you've dealt with like American guys who've come over from the pro team, and you've met them all and you've worked with some of them, but what are you expecting from like the American kids compared to what you've seen in the UK, as in on the court?
I think they're going to be a lot more mature, I think, because they've been exposed to so much basketball, so I think they're going to be, their movement's probably going to be a lot more athletic than maybe some of the guys I've worked with, just simply because they've played so much and they've had such a good experience from a young age, just because that's how it is over here. I think they'll probably play very quick. It'll be very fast paced, so I don't really know what to expect from the kids actually. It's quite exciting, really.
Yeah, it took me a little while to adjust and it was difficult at first, but yeah, you'll get your own feel for it and you'll figure it out, and I don't really want to give too much away because I want you to kind of just get in that experience, and I want to then chat to you maybe at the end of the first camp and say anything what you thought, and see how it went from there. So one big thing here, and I think it's a massive thing, is there's a coaches lounge every evening where all the coaches just sit down, have pizza, drink a couple of beers together and talk. Like, we've chatted before about what you want to get out of it, but like, is that for you, is that the key part of this, or is working with the kids the key part of this, or is it a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both, really. I think the main thing for me is just to network and just to meet new people and get some new ideas. Obviously I'm only 20, so I'm quite young, and I want to just be exposed really. I don't really have my own set way of doing things, so I just want to gain some more knowledge and sort of try and find myself a little bit with coaching. And just working with kids, I really enjoy that anyway, so building relationships with them. Obviously it's only going to be 3 days essentially, but I think in 3 days, being with them as much as I will be, I think you can definitely build some relationships there and hopefully have an impact on them. Maybe not necessarily just basketball, but just as a person really. That's quite important to me, so.
Yes, that sounds, to be fair, that sounds like the sort of thing that you want to hear from someone, and it sounds pretty natural, which is good. So last of all, before we leave it, and then we'll touch base again at the end of camp, what do you think of the facilities and your first impressions of 2 days here?
It's very impressive. The court is absolutely amazing. The floor is just, I've never been on a basketball floor like that before.
No bumps or scratches?
No bumps or scratches, spring loaded. The hoops are so sturdy. You can just tell that they've put money into it, so I'm hoping just in the future we'll have something like that back home where everywhere will have courts like that, and it's multiple courts as well. It's not just one nice court, they have multiple courts, so it's been very eye-opening.
It certainly is. I think it will open your eyes a little bit more as the week goes on. Alright, perfect. So the plan is, as I said, is chat to loads of coaches, interview people, talk loads of basketball. So everything kicks off tomorrow, and I'll speak to you after that.